today's presentation. It's my pleasure to introduce Mayari Sandoval. She is going to talk on a subject called Educating My Way.
Meditation? I forgot the meditation. I don't think I've ever done that before.
I'm sorry. Thank you. What happened? Okay, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. And thank you for reminding me. And where is it on my list? There it is. Okay, today's meditation will be led by David Dennis.
I'm sorry.
Welcome, everybody. It's a small group, but an enthusiastic group. You all came today. Something you want to say?
Closer to your mouth, please, David. Can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Okay, thank you. A small group, but obviously an enthusiastic group. And I'm going to focus the meditation on cultivating your mind. That phrase jumped out in the bio of our young speaker today. And the other thing that jumped out is, how do we navigate, how do we harness the energy of youth to help us in whatever it is that we want to do for the rest of our lives? We probably don't want to go work for the government. We probably don't want to go get a job. Where's your creativity? What is it you're looking forward to? And isn't it wonderful, this cross-generational presentation today? How do you want to navigate? How do you want to harness the energy we're about to hear for your own heart, your own community, your own life, your own family? How do we harness the energy? Everybody sit in your seats. Take a deep breath. And imagine unlimited energy coming your way. How do you want to tap in? I'll leave it silent for you to breathe into that idea for 1.5 minutes. Take a couple of more breaths. Gradually come back to the room and feel the energy. Thank you.
Thank you. That was lovely. Okay, now we'll get back on track. And now it is my pleasure to welcome a very bright, very beautiful young Mexican girl to speak with us today, and I'm so happy that her family's here with her as well. This presentation is called Educating My Way Up, and Mayari Sandoval is an enthusiastic, highly articulate 15-year-old Mexican girl. She will talk to us about her ambitions to change her country by educating herself and cultivating her mind. She is currently in her junior year at the Instituto Internacional Octavio Paz, the school you have surely seen shining on a hilltop on the north side of the Libramento. Mayari will tell us what is so special about this school and how it is preparing her to achieve her life goals. Mayari was born in Saltillo, Coahuila, I don't know if I said that right, and moved to Ajijic when she was 2 years old, which is why she considers Chapala to be her hometown. She is captain of her debate team, president of the student council, and a basketball and football enthusiast. Mayari speaks fluent English as well as French and is an aspirant to Stanford University, which is in my hometown. Please join me in welcoming Mayari.
Does it work now? Oh, yeah, it does. Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for all of you that are here today. I didn't really expect much people to be here, and well, it's really nice to see that some people actually wanted to hear what I want to talk about. I want to also thank Margaret Van Ivory, who's not here today because she's off on her vacation, but she was the one that contacted me, and she's the one that first induced this idea of Open Circle into me, and I really want to thank her because without her, this wouldn't have happened. And also Mr. David Bryan, because he was the one to follow up on me when Margaret left for vacation. And I want to thank myself too, because it took me pretty hard to write this down. Well, first of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Mayari Sandoval Polo. You don't know how to pronounce that probably, it's kind of hard, I know. So you can all call me Maya for short, that's what everyone does. If you've never heard this name before, it's normal, it's usual. It's not a common name. My name stands for flower of hummingbird that falls from the sky, and it comes from the Mayan. You've really never heard it before, I know that for sure. But I was born on December 27th of the year 2000, which makes me 15 years old, and for most of you that would be like a child. I'm very young. But for me, it's been a hell of a long way so far. As it said in my short bio, I was born up in the north of Mexico, in a state called Coahuila, in a city called Saltillo. We lived there because of my dad's job, and I really don't remember much from up there. I actually don't remember anything from up there. I moved here to Ajijic, and I wasn't even 2 years old. I was like a year and 8 months or so. So I really don't know life other than Ajijic. I don't know anywhere other than here. So to me, this small town, big town, however you want to call it, this place has been my hometown for the last 14 years or so. I've seen this place grow as much as this place has seen me grow. Like, I don't know how long you've been here, but if you didn't know, for example, the place where Walmart is right now, used to be an avocado field. That's sort of the kind of things that I've seen changing, and there's many things that Chapala has seen me change as well. For example, when I got here, I didn't even know how to walk properly. Well, here I am today. Well, I've been what one could call a nerd my whole life. If you know the term nerd, it's someone who likes to study, someone that gets good grades, someone that likes things that most people wouldn't enjoy doing on their own will. So I've been what I call a nerd, and everyone calls it a nerd too, but I have no problem with that term. I've always been sort of the smart child, and I've always had a lot of support from my parents and from my school and from my teachers because I've always been considered this sort of super smart kid that can do anything and is just going to get so far. Let's hope so. I entered grade school, you could call it, when I was just 5 years old, when the usual is 6. I had a summer to learn how to read and write because I didn't do the 3rd year in kindergarten, which means that I didn't get the basics as many kids did. From there, everyone just started thinking that I was this genius child and that I was so smart. Yeah. Let's just hope I still am that today. I've always had this interest in learning more and more and more. I had what I could call my teacher, which is my sister, who's back there. Can you raise your hand? That's my sister. That's my older sister, and she's always been like the reason why I keep on wanting to learn, you know? Back when I was starting to learn how to read and write, she was starting to perfectionate her reading and writing. So I've always been sort of trying to catch up with her because, well, I'm the small sister, that's what we do. I'm still a nerd nowadays. It wasn't just a thing in grade school. Nowadays, I'm in my junior year at International Institute. I'm a year and a half away from graduating. And I'm the debate club president, I'm the student council president, and I'm the co-president of the Interact Club, which is the youth branch from the Rotary Club. Any of you familiar with that?
Yes.
And now, because I've always had this eager feeling towards learning and towards filling my brain up with many different things, I've always been very passionate about reading. I remember back in, first grade, second grade, we went to the FIL, you know what that is? FIL, F-I-L. It's the Feria Internacional del Libro, which is a big event with a lot of books and a lot of reading and a lot of authors, and it's my paradise. So I remember that back in the day, I would go with my parents and my sister, and I wouldn't read books that were for kids my age. I never did things that were for kids my age. Back in the day, I mean, if I was 7 and I was in 2nd grade or whatever, I read books for kids that were in 6th grade. I was always trying to get ahead of myself because I've always been so passionate and so vivid about getting more and more and more. But that was when I was a kid, you know. The older I grew, I started reading more to be a show-off. And you may be wondering why a show-off. Well, the thing is that as my sister got older, my sister is 4 years older than me, my parents and my sister started having this sort of more adult-like conversations. So I wanted to be a part of that. Like, just imagine being, I don't know, 9 and being so avid and so vivid and like eager to understand what they were saying. So I started reading about the subjects that they talked about, and I wanted to have like my little own opinion. I wanted to be a show-off. It never worked. As I grew older, my reading level increased. I stopped reading fantasy books, I stopped reading fairy tales, I stopped reading any of those sort of things. And nowadays, I'm very avid for reading news, I'm very avid for reading essays and scientific investigations. Because part of it, because I love it, I love reading. And the other part of it, it's because, well, school's got me hard. So the way that I've been cultivating my mind on my own, because of my own guidance, because of what I wanted to do, has been reading. Seriously, you can go inside to my bedroom and you will find more books than anything else. Because that's what I love to do, that's what makes me passionate. And that's one of the first ways that I want to talk about cultivating your minds. I know many of you may like to read, I know many people hate reading, I know there's a lot of confused opinions on reading. But as for myself, I can tell you that it's not quite, well, it's not every day that you find a 15-year-old that wants to read her life away. So I've always been a fan of reading because it's just a way of getting more into my head and more each time. It didn't matter what subject I read about, it didn't matter if it was a novel book that I read or if it was just like the synopsis of a movie. It was just, I was reading and I was soaking in all this information. Like, if I could compare it to you, I say that I feel like a sponge. I think that I'm a sponge that just absorbs up everything that's around her, and much of this I do through reading. So that's a way that I'd like to invite you all to cultivate your minds, because it's never too late and it's never too early to start working up in that little brain we have. The second thing I want to talk about is traveling. Ever since I was a little girl, I've had the chance to travel all around Mexico. I know most of the states in Mexico. Tell me a state, you name it, I've probably been there. I've had this amazing opportunity to travel thanks to my parents, and it's just, it has opened the world for me. You can see many people these days, many young people these days, and they're going to be eager to go to France or to go to England or to know Europe or the States or Canada or anywhere. But if you ask me, like, what's my ideal vacation plan, I'd say that I want to know the whole country. I want to know Mexico. I want to know my country. What I've had done, well, the opportunity that I've had to travel is really marvelous. I mean, not everyone can say that they know almost every state in their country. But traveling has really been mind-opening because I don't do fancy traveling. We don't go to nice hotels and we have like nice dinners. We don't do that. We go into small towns. We go into indigenous communities. We go in and we try to soak in as much as we can. And that's a chance that my parents have taught me a lot of that. So to me, traveling is the second main way that I cultivate my mind. It has been such an amazing weapon when talking about anything with anyone. Because, sometimes it's a subject that kids come up and they're like, oh, there's Empire State Building in New York and I want to go see that. But I'm like, no, there's Torre Latinoamericana in Mexico City and you can see that and it's just as beautiful and it's just as cool. So it's really something that's giving me weapons to defend myself because I know my country, because I know what surrounds me, and I can tell you proudly that unlike most people, I am happy to be a Mexican. I am eager to help my country any way I can, any method I can through, and I'm passionate about this country. And I'm passionate about it because I know it, because I know it from the inside. I don't know the big cities, well I do, but I don't only know the big cities and I don't only know the fancy museums and everything like that. I know the small countries, I know the people, I know the cultures, I know how they live. And this has been such a mind opener, like traveling has been the best way to cultivate my mind. And I invite you all to travel, no matter where you can. If you can go to the other side of the lake, if you can go to Guadalajara, if you can go to a small close city, if you can go anywhere, do it. It's such an amazing thing to be able to learn new parts of our country. It's not your country, maybe, but I think you all feel identified a little bit with the Mexican spirit that we have here. So, to me, reading and traveling have been the main weapons to cultivate my mind, which is what I mentioned in my bio. I've always been eager about reading and writing because I'm a sponge. I mean, if you ask me what I am, I'm a sponge. I soak in information from anywhere I can, and I want to keep on doing it until I can't, until I'm just so filled in with information that I can't anymore. So cultivating your mind through traveling and reading has been a very important step that has helped me decide what I want to do with my future. My goal is to work in the public section in the government here in Mexico, and I'd like to work specifically in the Secretaría de Turismo, which is, the secretary dedicated to tourism and all of that sort. But I want to change the country by tourism. And you may not think that that's pretty crazy, that that's pretty impossible, but I don't think it is. A lot of what we do here in Mexico is we try to get people from everywhere to come in here. We try to get Americans here, we try to get Canadians here, we try to get everyone to know the beauties that we have in Mexico. But do we really try to get the Mexicans to know the beauties we have in Mexico? We don't. And I can tell you that maybe the real reason why I actually love my country so much and I feel I'm so hyped about being Mexican is because I know my country. I know it surrounds me. So maybe someone that doesn't know it doesn't feel that way. That's my point. I want to work in tourism, but I want to stop focusing on foreigners. It's cool that they come, it's amazing for us, it's like such an economical improvement. But to talk about us, the moment that Mexicans start loving their own country, they're going to start working for their own country. The moment that you feel passionate about something, it's the moment that you start working with love and with decision and with determination towards that. So my goal is to teach everyone around me to appreciate what we have, to understand how blessed or lucky or however you want to name it to be in this country, because we have everything. You have everything here, and I mean, it's a really nice place. So why not learn how to appreciate it? It's the moment that you take something as yours, is the moment that you start valuing it and the moment that you start working for it. So maybe if every Mexican knew their country and every Mexican felt so proud of being Mexican, then maybe we could all start working towards Mexico. Maybe we will stop with that thing of trying to damage the country or just complaining. Learning to love your country, for me, is the first step towards making it better. And God, we can make it better. But the other thing that has also helped me a lot to have this mindset has been school. I have been on 4 schools my whole student life, But I want to talk about specifically about a school that has seen me grow for the past 5 years. I'm sure you've all seen it, International Institute. I'm sure you've all seen it on the top of the hill in the Movimiento, and I'm sure that when you went by the first few times, you just saw that big shiny building and you were like, what is that? Well, it's a school. It's a really pretty one, and I can say that I'm very lucky to go to that school. This school is not easy. It hasn't been easy for me, not ever. I entered there on 7th grade when they just started with the secundaria thing, which would be junior high school. And I was the first generation of junior high school in that school, and I'm going to finish there my high school as well. As I said, I'm in my junior year, which means that I've been there 5 years, and I feel proud to be in that school. It's been such a backup for me in all this time. You know, in many schools, I wouldn't have the support that I get in this school. I wouldn't have the teachers. I have really good teachers, but I wouldn't have most of these aspirations, because maybe I would be taught with a different mindset, but in this school, I'm being supported, and I'm having people consider my ideas, and I'm having people just understand what I want to do and what I want to be. So for me, this school has been such a great thing in my life. We started off as a very small school. The first year I was there, we were less than 50 people, considering students, teachers, and cleaning persons. Less than 50 people. We were in a different building though. We were like in a big house. It was a nice family, but it's still a family. We're currently, I think, 110 students, am I right? 120 students. And we're still a small school, yeah, because if you compare it to Prepa Chapala, which is like 1,000 or something students, and you see us here, then you're definitely going to think that we're a very small school. But we're also a very united school, and we're also a very happy school, and I can tell you that right now I'm realizing more things about my school as a student president, which is giving me like another view of what I can do like in small communities, because change is little by little. It's taking baby steps. In this school we have something which is called International Baccalaureate, which stands for IB, but sometimes we call it HELL, because it's health. It is an internationally recognized program, which is very hard. It is superior to many standard levels, and it is definitely superior to the Mexican educational system we have. But it's helping me, you know? It's building me to be the person that I want to become. If I want to work in the public sector, if I want to work in the government, then I must know how to take pressure. Then I must learn how to do job and how to be efficient. And this is something that this school is really teaching me, because you know, with due dates and essays and papers and investigations and like having everything all around you, you learn how to do that either you want it or not. As it mentioned in my bio, I want to attend Stanford. It is my main option to say so. I want to study political science up in Stanford, and you may ask why. Like, if I want to work in the government here, why would I want to study the government of another place that's not here? And the reason is because, well, the States is, whether we like it or not, whether I like it or not, it's a more advanced society, and especially when speaking government. It's definitely more organized, and there's a better strategy to how it works. So maybe learning first the things of a different country, and then coming here, learning my own, and then combining them, that could be a better result than what most people are trying to do. And my second choice, because, well, I have to have a backup plan, it's the Instituto Tecnológico Autónomo de México, which is ITAM. It is a school in Mexico City. It is a financial school. Like, it is mostly recognized because of its careers in financial and business and all that sort of money things. And I'd like to study there public accounting and financial strategy, or financial management, because I want to help my country either way I can. And knowing money talks, like knowing how money works and knowing how money flows, it's definitely the best way that you can help your country ever, like anywhere, doesn't matter where. So by learning this, I could be prepared for whatever life takes me. If life wants me to open a business up in the future, then I'm gonna be ready for that because I'm gonna have my basis for that. But if life wants me to go up and work in the Secretary of Economy or God knows where, well, I'm gonna be ready for that because, well, like it or not, money is everything right now. Well, what can I tell you? I bet that you haven't had a 15-year-old speak up here before. And I'm actually very honored to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation. But what I want to leave you with, the message that I want to give here, is that I want to tell everyone that there's hope no matter who you are, no matter your age, no matter your gender, no matter anything. That if you want to do something and if you work for that, let's hope it does come true because I'm working really hard on this. I'm probably going to be one of the few 15-year-olds that you ever have here. And I feel like sharing this with you is starting to work my way up to what I want. And I am working and educating my way up. I am working and cultivating my mind until I get where I want to get. I am working in being the kind of person that I aim to be. It is not easy. It's not fun. It's not fun either. But I'm getting there. I'm taking baby steps. I'm sorry. This small town is my main goal. I want to start working in this small town because I know that we have much more of a potential than what we do right now. I know that we could be the main tourist attraction, like wherever you want it. We could be the biggest tourist attractor in Mexico. We could be the best thing here. But we're not working for it. There's no one really here wanting to improve this place. There's no one really here wanting to make this world better. So, I mean, why not start me? If I see that there's no one else, why not me? If anyone else could do it, why not me? And well, my plan is to take baby steps. I think that life is a staircase. And you just keep on climbing one stair after the other. And it might take you time and it might be hard. It's being really hard right now. But I'm gonna get there eventually, and I'm trying to get there. I'm having different factors sort of influencing what I want to become. I'm having school, I'm having such a great community around me. I have such great opportunities. I'm having everything. Everything is going my way, and I'm really happy about that. Did you remember that I told you I was a nerd? Well, speaking about that, I have a scholarship offerment in Sarah Lawrence College in New York, and I'm in my junior year. Like, I'm someone that's working for her thing. Sarah Lawrence College is one of the best universities in the world. It is also one of the most expensive ones. But I have a great offering to study there. I have a fee waiver, and I have like a few little deals that I can make. And no one can really say that in their junior year. No one can say that they already got an offering for college in their junior year. Like, no one. It's really rare to find anyone like that. And and those are things that I owe to people. I owe that scholarship to my school, which owes that scholarship to the Ivy program. And I also owe the fact that I'm in that school, and that I'm the person that I am because of my parents, because of the community that surrounds me. I owe what I am to many different factors. And it's what I want to give back. I want to learn how to give everything back to people. I want to change this country because I want to change its people. I don't care about, well, I mean, I do care, but it's not my priority to have a nicer infrastructure, to have roads. It's not my priority to do that because I believe in people. I believe people are the main point to start changing everything around you. People, for me, are the best weapons. If you have them on your side, then you can do whatever you want. But if you don't have them on your side, then what are you doing? You're doing it wrong. So what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to achieve, is I'm trying to get to understand people, and I'm trying to get how to work with people, which explains why I wanted to run for the student council in my school. It's elected, It's not like the teachers assign it. And this is the second time that I ran for the student council in my school. On ninth grade, I ran actually again for the first time, and I didn't win. I was actually like the lowest group, didn't have many votes, but it was just a shot. And then on 10th grade, I decided that I wanted to try it again. I wanted to make an actual difference because, well, it's kind of obvious that the last student council before me didn't do anything. So I wanted to be the change because I believe in change in any way you can. If it's a change on rearranging your bedroom, that's change, and that's change for yourself. And who knows, maybe you become a better person because now you have more space in your bedroom. And I wanted to talk about change in my school because I know we have a lot of smaller kids. Most of the students are in 7th grade and 8th grade. And I know how they want to feel in the school because I was once in their grade. Not too long ago, but I was once in their grade. And I want to help people have what I didn't get to have, or to experience life in a way that I might have not gotten it. In my school back in 7th and 8th grade, it was really fun, yeah, it was. It was pretty cool. But, I mean, maybe I would have liked more parties, maybe I would have liked more events or more recognition for what I do. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to change things for people from wherever I can. I consider myself to be a very helpful person. I've always been passionate about being there for people. No matter how I can, I've always wanted to be there for people. I've always had this facility to communicate with people. I've never really been shy to speak in front of public. Like, I've always wanted to be around people. And I didn't realize that until like a year ago, when I just started focusing that even though I'm not leaving myself behind, I'm working for people. No one's asking me to do it. No one's telling me, go out and change your country. No one's telling me that. No one told me, go out and be a student president. No one told me that. But I'm doing it because I want to, because that's me. And I find it fascinating how people can make the difference anywhere. Like just in here, there's groups of people that get together to pick up garbage from the lake, let's say. And does it work? Of course it works. Because there's people working together to get that. There's people working together for a goal, and they're trying to aim at something. So this is what has been so mind-blowing in me. I've seen all my life groups of people get together for good purposes. Groups of people get together for the wrong purposes. I've seen people get together for all sorts of things. And that's what made me realize that people are the essentials. And you read about it. You can read about it either in fantasy books about armies getting together to fight a dragon and save the girl. You read about that. But then you can also read about people that got together to make mass genocide. They got together. People got together for their own purposes. Maybe not the right ones, but they got together for their own purposes. And it's proven through history, and it's proven anywhere you want it, that when people get together, things work out. So for me, gathering people and learning how to make people work with me and how to get me to work with people is the best way to change everything, no matter what you want to change. For example, you guys here, you're a group of people who are willing to listen to people that come here to show you whatever they want to show you, to talk to you about subjects that may be of your interest or not, but that you're going to listen to them. And you're a group of people working for that aim. It's pretty cool that you guys do that, actually. So the fact that I'm learning how to get people to work together, and I'm trying to understand how to move my way up, how to work my way up, is through cultivating my mind. I own everything I know, I own everything I do, to reading, to traveling, to school, because I'm a nerd. That's what I do. I'm young, that's true, I'm 15. I'm gonna graduate when I'm 17, and I'll probably be done with college by 21, which is kind of young actually, because in here people don't graduate until 22, 23 sort of. But I'm working with it. I'm young, and that is an impediment at some occasions, because maybe if I want to participate in the government right now, I can't. I'm not 18. I'm not like a legal person. So maybe I can't do many things right now. There are many more that I can. And there are many more that I'm learning how to do. And I'm trying. I'm doing my best. And I think that it is working, because if not, I probably wouldn't be here right now. And there probably wouldn't be someone that recognized who I am and what I did. Cultivating my mind is essential for me. Cultivating my mind has been the best decision that I've taken. And maybe it started out as a child's play. I started reading because I was bored, because I just wanted something to do, because I wanted to be like my older sister. I started reading because I could. But maybe I never realized what it actually meant to be reading. I started traveling because my parents traveled with us. They took us everywhere. And maybe when I was 8 or 9, I didn't realize how lucky I was. Maybe when I was 8 or 9, what I wanted to do was go to the States, and what I wanted to do was get to know Europe, and what I wanted to do was anything, like be nowhere near Mexico. But now I understand that the chances that I've had are amazing, and the opportunities that I'm giving my life are great. And I have to work with that, because whether or not I like it, I was born in Mexico. And I was born with a purpose, just like we all are born with a purpose. And maybe right now I feel like my purpose was to change my country. But maybe in 10 years my purpose is going to be to have a taco stand or whatever. My purpose can change any minute now. But for now and for the past 4 years or so, I've been convinced that my purpose in here is to change the world. And maybe I can't change the world right now. No, probably can't. I'm not a genius, I'm not a scientist. I don't really know how to do anything. But I can start by my house. I can start by my school. And I get to start in a beautiful community that's supporting me so much. I get to start in my house by just picking up my dish and washing it. Thing that I don't do that often, which I should. I could start by working in my school, by talking to my teachers about my problems, by helping other students that are having a hard time. I could start in my community by picking up the plastic bottle that I saw on the street that someone threw. I can start by making small changes. And maybe I won't get to the government and I won't be president. Yeah, probably not. But it doesn't kill to dream, does it? Which, well, I'm working there. Whether I get to where I want to get or I get to where life takes me, I'm working for it. And I'm just trying to flow with life. I've had some ups and downs, downs and ups. I've had all sorts of things in my way, but I'm working for it. It doesn't matter how my mind is changing. It doesn't matter how my body or my community or my school or whatever is changing. I'm working for it. And I'm a very stubborn person, so I'm working for it. And I'm gonna work for it. And to be here with you today is amazing. I really appreciate all of you being here. And I know it was raining. I know it was sort of a thing to hold you back. But I want to thank you for being here today. I'm a believer that it doesn't matter to how many people you talk to, as long as those people are willing to listen to you. So you're a small group, I know, but you're willing to listen to me, and that's a thing for me. And well, thank you. And I hope that one day I just get to come back here and told you, like, I made it. I told you so.
Thank you so much. That was a very, very good talk. You're a very polished presenter, and your English is excellent, too. Now we'd like you to stay here and answer a few questions from the audience. Please stand up and hold the mic close.
Hello. I share a love of Mexico and a love of books. I'm too close, there's nothing I can do.
Pretty loud. Come over here. Loud.
So I would like to share a question I have with you, not expecting you to have an answer, but just in case you are Secretary of Tourism someday.
Speak louder. You gotta be louder.
I'm going to talk to her. Y'all can hear or not, but I'm going to talk to her. Just in case you are Secretary of Tourism someday, I want to share a question I have that I worry about. Well, this is between me and her right now.
Come stand over by me and then they won't be back.
Hello? 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 Okay, can I just talk and y'all can hear or not? Let me just talk.
Turn
over
to us, so we can hear you.
So my question, because this is important to me in the United States as well as here, is in the United States often I've seen a place that's precious get loved to death. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yes, I would like to see tourism flourish in Mexico. Is there a way to have the tourism flourish and take care of the precious treasure of the indigenous culture? Oh, so many languages in Mexico. You know, like 200 languages, 200 different cultures. I am curious about things that I've seen online that I think there's some movement in that direction. They're starting to have television shows in Mexico City that invite people to learn the indigenous ways to cook and use the medicinal plants. So I'm wondering, are you seeing too a trend of curiosity of young Mexican people, of wanting to learn more about all the treasures that we have here? I mean, I was happy to hear that you have that. And do you have concern too that the nature gets taken care of and indigenous people get taken care of while we bring the tourism?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is this working?
Okay.
Okay. Well, the first thing that you mentioned is loving a place to death.
Yeah.
I've seen many cases of loving a place to death. You can take, for example, Vallarta or Manzanillo, these beautiful beaches that we love to death. I mean, we're so focused on getting people there that people just get there and like they do whatever they want, but they leave and everything's gone. Their trash is there. Their fuels are there. I'm not even sure if this is on. Okay. And loving a place to death is something that happens very often. And not only the States, not only Mexico, but I'm sure it happens everywhere. The thing is that I believe that as soon as we start learning how to love, then we'll learn how to take care of a place without killing it. Yeah. And that's what I want to do, because it's not only a matter of appreciating your country, it's a matter of knowing how to love your country. Because to me, loving my country could be going to the Malecon every weekend and like having a big meal and like leaving all my trash there. But to me, that's how I love my place. That's how I want, because I enjoy it. Because I'm watching it, that's loving it for me. But that's not it. You're not helping it. So my goal is to teach people how to love. Not only who to love and where to love, but how to love. Like, how can we give back to nature and how can we maintain a balance in society? Like, teaching people how to do it. And what was the other question?
Well, I guess there seems to be a curiosity of people wanting to learn the languages again. I see things on Facebook, people wanting to learn Nahuatl, people wanting to learn how do you make mole, the handwriting, you know. Do you see that among other students that they're starting, not only do you want to learn all the new technology, but is there still wanting to learn what our treasures here are?
Well, I can only speak for my generation, or the generation that I move in. I don't really see that much of a spirit in kids from my generation. I'm not going to say my age because I'm 15 and I move in a generation of kids between 16 and 17 because I'm a grade ahead. But in my generation, I don't see that. I see people that if you ask them, what do you want to do in the future? Whatever that it's not in Mexico. Where do you want to live? Anywhere but Mexico. I see that sort of hate culture towards Mexico. So in my generation, I personally don't see that, which is very sad. But having the chance to speak with my sister, who is in college already, sometimes she mentions some of her friends or some people around her that have that share this sort of passion for Mexico. I mean, maybe not in the same way. Maybe they don't want to learn about the indigenous cultures. Maybe they don't want to learn the typical cooking that we have. Maybe they don't, but there's a little bit more of an appreciation. So I'm hoping that the generations to go below me, the generations that are going to take over everyone sooner or later, I hope that they learn how important it is to love and to learn your environment. And that's also something that maybe we should all work together for.
Okay, we're having a mic problem, so we're just gonna have to speak up if you'd like to ask your question.
I don't have a mic problem. I have a question, Mary. What is your school doing to find other students like you that are as bright and articulate? I mean, I realize you're very special, but I would imagine there are a lot of special Mexican boys and girls around that need the kind of education you're getting. But what are you doing to recruit good people?
Well, inside the school, like leaving recruiting aside for a minute, inside the school, we get a lot of attention towards what you're passionate about. Maybe there's girls that are passionate for dancing, and there's a dance club for that, and they have the ability to develop that area, and they get the chance to even have a scholarship for it. Like, whatever your passion is, or whatever you want to do in your future, the school is very pendant of what you want to do. For example, maybe not with junior high school, but at least with us in high school, especially as in the last 2 grades of high school, we get a lot of focus and we get a lot of checkups from your teachers asking you what you want to study, if you changed your mind, if you want to go to the States to study, if you want to go to Europe to study, if you want to get a scholarship here or there, what you want to do. So at least in that area inside the school, we get a lot of focus on us because we're such a small school, and it makes it so easy for teachers to be in contact with you and for your passions and your wills, your goals, your dreams to develop. So they're really helpful in that area inside the school. And talking about recruitment, I'm really not that familiar with that, but I know that we have some kids that have 100% scholarships, or some kids that have really high scholarships that come from San Juan or whatever you name it, that they don't have the same opportunities. And that's because we want to give kids the opportunities that we're all having. Maybe I'm not there by 100% scholarship because I don't need one. But there are kids there that have 100% scholarship because they deserve it. There are kids there that have greater scholarships or that have it a little bit easier to be in the school because they deserve it, because they want to learn, because they're eager to be there. They're eager to make a change in their communities and their families and whatever. So as in recruitment, what we have is that we encourage people to be with us.
Question back here.
I have a recruitment about colleges in the States and other countries. Is there a strong effort on behalf of the students who would like to study abroad? And you've kind of limited yourself to 2 schools, and you remind me so much of my second daughter, who's now 35. She was born on your birthday 20 years before you, and was one of these nerds, and she went on and is now a lawyer and all that, and is cross-cultural. But there are other schools, and I'd love to talk to you about the one that she went to, because maybe we can get you a scholarship.
Oh, sure, that would be great, thank you. Yeah, that would be great.
Another question over here?
Yes, I want to know, what are the qualifications to attend the school that you are in? Is it a monetary tuition to get in, or how would other students that might be bright students that live in this area, how do they go about attending the school that you are in?
How do they go about attending the school I'm in? I'm gonna be honest with you, 100%.
Do you want me to take that, Maya?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I entered when the process was a little bit different because we were such a small school, but that's Lily, she's the owner of my school, and she knows everything about that, so.
I'm just gonna speak up.
Okay.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Our admissions process is fairly come one, come all. Students, we encourage students to start with us in 7th grade, so ending whichever primary school they come from. If they have an 8.0 average out of 10, we have a 10.0 system here in Mexico, so it's about a B average or above coming from primary school. We say come one, come all. In fact, for the first 2 years of secundaria, 7th and 8th grade, we even have an English as a second language program. The program that Maya's been in has been the bilingual program from the beginning. She came to us with a very high level of English. But we have a regularization program as well for students who come from public schools, for students who come from other areas where they didn't have the opportunities that students who came up in a private education system here have had. Our merit scholarship program hits about 75% of our student population. We also have a financial need program. So those students that Maya's thinking of that are on 100% scholarship, they have partial financial need, partial merit. There's some students who are with us on staff scholarship as well. So that's how that works. Our scholarship program for next year, for instance, for the 17-18 school year, the audition process or the application process, depending on the program that they apply to, starts in January. So the big red light here, the big flashing lights, are that the students have to be thinking about the next year 6, 7, 8 months ahead of time. And that's sort of counterculture, honestly. We found that a lot of the families here don't think about where they're going to go until a month or two before the school year. So every year, every summer in June and July, we get a lot of families saying, oh, I'd like to apply, but I need a scholarship. And I say, well, you should have thought of that in January. But our scholarship application for the next year is going to be opening up in January, and mine has actually got some of our cards. So.
Yeah,
Okay, is there a tuition to get into your school? And what might it be if a student, say, can't get a scholarship?
The junior high monthly tuition is $4,500 per month. The senior high is $5,500, and there is a enrollment fee as well. For students who are able to get scholarships, a lot of them don't have to pay anything. There's no application fee, there's only an enrollment fee.
Okay.
Is this a residential school or
We do
community?
have, thank you, we do have residences as well. We have space for about 27, I think, 27 girls and 27 boys up on our 3rd floor.
Wow.
We've only had a couple of students in residence so far, and they haven't been in permanent residence. We've got quite a few traveling families at the school. So where mom and dad are in Alaska for 3 months out of the year or something, they're with us for those 3 months.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We have time for one more question, if someone has one. Otherwise, we're just going to say thank you very much, Maya. It was a very good presentation. Oh, she wants to make a quick announcement.
Okay. As I mentioned, I'm on the debate team in my school, and we're trying to go to this course in Guadalajara called Mar Adentro, which is a debating technique course that we really want to take, and we're very eager to take it. But unfortunately, it's quite expensive, and not all of us can afford it. So we're trying to make a raffle. We're making a raffle. We're raffling a basket of wine bottles. And if any of you would be interested in helping us out, each ticket is 25 pesos, and you would really help us out because we really want to go to that thing, but it's kind of hard for us right now. So,
When is it?
Huh?
When is it?
The raffle?
No, one though, the debate.
Oh, the debate class thing? It depends on when we have the money to pay for it. It is like a private association that comes to you and gives you the lessons, and it gives you techniques on how to debate, and it shows you the best ways to counterattack to an argument or the best ways to debate. So what we're trying to get is that, because we really want to start getting more involved into debate contests.
Okay, so Maya will be outside for you, and if anybody wants to get involved with the raffle, you
What's the
can
total
see her
cost for that, Maya?
Per person, 800 pesos per person. And we're about 27 people, sort of. So it's pretty much. But thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, turn your cell phones back on. You don't need to stack the chairs this time, I don't think. And we hope that